Hi, I'm Kevin. This is Sports Lab 100. Today's episode is Kyle Tucker, Astro 54. I'm doing this channel because it's free and I like sports. That's the whole trick. I'm not an entrepreneur. I like research. I care about sports history. I care about these teams, these players, and the little moments where one team tells you more than a season preview could. I tried to find a channel that treated franchise history like that, but I couldn't really find it. So here it is. This is Sports Lab 100, and this year we're following the Houston Astros, the Golden State Warriors, St. Louis Blues, and the Carolina Panthers. Each series is the 100 most impactful players in franchise history. Different sports, different math. For Major League Baseball, I use WAR, batting and pitching, in the same column. Because the point isn't to flatter anybody. The point is to build a list and then go where it sends us. Today it sends us to Kyle Tucker. This is Astro 54, the King Tuck episode. Kyle Tucker is a 6'3", 212-pound right fielder from Tampa. Left-handed bat, right-handed thrower, calm face, vicious bat. Violent. Stupid. He came out of HB Plant High School, which is a baseball factory. The Astros took him 5th overall in the 2015 draft, which tells you where Houston was as an organization. It's not the old Astros anymore. They're not just a team collecting losses and prospects and psychic damage. This is the machine beginning to hum. Tucker was part of that next wave. He made his major league debut in 2018, and the first look wasn't exactly thunder from the heavens. He hit 141 in 28 games. Doesn't mean he was bad. The better version came later. By 2021, Tucker is a real middle of the order force. And by 22, he's an all-star, a gold glove, and a World Series champion. He could hit for power, steal bases, cover right field, and do it all with the emotional display of a man waiting for soup. Entering 2023, he already had 73 career homers, 53 steals, 256 RBI, and a 129 OPS plus. Remember, that number includes that 2018 cup of coffee where the cup mostly spilled down his shirt. By August 8, 2023, Tucker's no longer a prospect or a nice supporting piece. He's a central Astro. Excuse me. Different kind of Houston star. Not the heartbeat like Altuve, not the edge like Bregman, and not the inevitability of Jordan. Tucker was the quiet one who could beat you 5 different ways, then make it look like he was slightly inconvenienced by the applause. This game needed him. On August 8th, 2023, the 64-49 Houston Astros went to the Camden Yards to face the 70-42 Baltimore Orioles. Wasn't October, but it had the shape of October. Baltimore is one of the best stories in baseball. They're young, fast, fearless, and finally not theoretical. They weren't coming soon. They'd already arrived. Adley Rutschman was already a franchise flip switch. Gunnar Henderson was becoming the big problem. Camden Yards had energy. Baltimore wasn't just rebuilding. They were already dangerous. Houston, meanwhile, the opposite kind of dangerous. The Astros weren't new. They were the team that people were tired of seeing. That's another way of saying they kept winning. The defending champions were chasing Texas in the AL West, trying to hold off Seattle, trying to survive the weight of their own standard. The Astros just watched Framber Valdez throw a no-hitter just a week prior, and now Valdez has the ball again. In the bottom of the first, Ryan Mountcastle hits a 2-run homer, and not a cheap one. It was a 472-foot message to center field. Orioles up 2-0. In the second, Baltimore kept coming. James McCann brought in a run with a ground out. Then Adley Rutschman homered. Suddenly it's 5-0. And this is where the comeback should begin, right? It doesn't. In the third, Tucker singles in a run, and Yainer Diaz added the sacrifice fly. Now it's 5-2. And that is better than 5-0. In the same way a smaller fire is bigger than a larger. the same way a smaller fire is better than a larger fire. In the fourth, McCann hit a sacrifice fly and made it 6-2 Baltimore. After that, the game got stuck. The Astros had their chances, but not enough. The Orioles had the lead, and the lead felt sturdy. Felt like one of those games where Houston makes a little noise, threatens once or twice, and then everybody says, "Good effort." That's sports language for "you lost." Through 7 innings, Baltimore still led 6-2. In the eighth, Jeremy Pena singled home Tucker to make it 6-3. Didn't feel like the whole game changed, but it moved the game from mostly dead to technically available. And then came the ninth. Baltimore brought in Felix Bautista. Let's pause here, because Bautista in 2023 wasn't just a closer. He was a weapon. His nickname was the Mountain. Unlike a lot of sports nicknames, it didn't require a lot of imagination. Bautista was really big, enormous. He threw 100. He had a splitter that looked like it'd been edited in post. When he came in with a 3-1 lead, the normal human response, start packing. So, of course, the Astros began the inning with John Singleton. That's baseball. Singleton had been a former Astros prospect. Then he was a cautionary tale. After a long absence, he's back. He's back in the majors for the first time in 8 years with Houston here. And his first plate appearance came against Bautista with his team down 3 in the ninth. Hey, no pressure, buddy. Welcome back. Here's the Dragon. Singleton walked. That walk's one of the hidden hinges of this whole game. It's not the swing that people remember, but without it, the swing people remember didn't exist. Or it doesn't exist. Jose Altuve followed with a single to right. And now the tying runs at the plate. Alex Bregman struck out. So for a second there, normal order seemed ready to reassert itself. Bautista was still Bautista. The Orioles were still 1 out closer. Houston still needed something big. Yordan Alvarez is big. He stepped in and almost provided it. He drove a ball deep into left center, and off the bat it looked like the game might be tied. Instead, hit the wall, stayed in the park, and because Singleton had to hold and read the fly, the ball didn't clear the fence. Alvarez ended up with a really, really long single, and the bases are loaded. Houston now trails 6-3, and Cal Tucker walks in. This is the kind of at-bat where a player can become very loud without saying anything. Bautista got ahead, 0-2, 2 strikes, right away. Against that arm, that should have been the end of the conversation, but Tucker wouldn't leave. He took a ball, then another, then he fouled off fastballs over and over. He stayed alive against pitches most hitters would be proud just to touch. The count went to 2-2, and the at-bat turned into an endurance contest. Bautista was throwing thunder, Tucker refusing to disappear. Pitch 9, fastball. Tucker caught it out front and sent it to right center. There it was, grand slam. Astros lead 7-6, not tied, not close, not we made it interesting. The lead. And that's the violence of a grand slam. It doesn't negotiate. It changes the room. A 3-run deficit can become a 1-run lead in one swing. Bautista, who had been almost untouchable all year, got touched. Not just touched, he was solved at the worst possible time by a hitter who looked like he was taking inventory. Ryan Presley handled the bottom of the ninth. Perfect inning, 3 outs, done. Astros 7, Orioles 6. After the game, the quote that matters belongs to Tucker because it fits the whole thing. He talked about trying to get something over the plate, trying to grind through the at-bat, and being able to catch one out front. That's a very Tucker way to describe ripping the steering wheel off a game in a hostile ballpark. Dusty Baker was more direct. He called it determination. A determination at bat, not just talent or bat speed. Determination, want, concentration. The unglamorous stuff that sounds boring until it wins a ball game. For the Astros, this wasn't just a fun comeback in August. They needed every inch of it. Every stray win mattered. The 23 AL West race was a knife fight between Houston, Texas, and Seattle. The Astros weren't cruising, they were grinding. Baltimore finished at 101-61, best record in the AL, and won the American League East. It was a massive arrival season for the Orioles, even if October ended pretty quickly. Houston finished 70-92 and won the AL West final day of the season. That's the part that makes this game age better. Take this game away, and the math gets uglier. Add it back, and there's Tucker in Baltimore, turning a loss into one of the little bricks in a division title wall. In the playoffs, the Astros beat the Twins in the ALDS 3-1, while the Orioles got swept by eventual champions, the Arlington Rangers. Your dream season can be real and still end right away. Baltimore learned it the hard way. A lot of teams do. Houston eventually met Texas in the ALCS, and the Rangers were the team that survived. For Tucker personally, 23 was a major marker. He led the AL with 112 RBI, hit 29 home runs, stole 30 bases, and won his first Silver Slugger award. He was one of the best outfielders in the sport. In 2024, he was even better when he was on the field. The problem, he wasn't on the field enough. A shin injury cost him a huge chunk of the season, but in 78 games, he still hit like a monster. 289 with a 408 on-base percentage, a 585 slugging percentage, 23 homers, and an OPS plus north of 180. That's superstar production in a shortened season, not just a hot stretch. Then Houston made the kind of move that baseball reminds you it's a business, even when you'd prefer to keep Tucker. After the 24 season, the Astros traded Tucker to the Chicago Cubs. Houston got Isaac Paredes, Hayden Wesneski, and Cam Smith. The Cubs got 1 year of an elite right fielder in his prime. Tucker gave Chicago that year. In 2025, he was an all-star starter, won his second Silver Slugger, hit 22 homers, stole 25 bases, and he gave the Cubs exactly the kind of high-power, high-end bat they were hoping for. Then came free agency, and that's how Kyle Tucker landed with the Los Angeles Dodgers on a contract that sounds like a rounding error. 4 years, $240 million, with opt-outs after the second and third seasons, a giant signing bonus, and deferred money, because the Dodgers need another way to cheat. That's the arc. High school star, 5th overall pick, rough debut, quiet growth, World Series champion, Gold Glove winner, Silver Slugger, trade piece, Cub for 1 year, Dodger on a monster contract. But for Astro 54, we're not here because of the contract. We're here because of this one at-bat in Baltimore. Down 3, 9th inning, bases loaded, 2 strikes. Felix Bautista throwing lightning, and Kyle Tucker, calm as ever, decided the game wasn't over yet. Next time we head back to the ice for Blue 5, Braden Shen. Braden Shen, okay? You see? Yeah. November 11th, 2023. That one's against Colorado. Shen does a little more than something. He scores a hat trick in an 8-2 Blues win, where Pavel Buchnevich also scores a hat trick, because the Blues were selling him in bulk that night. For today, though, that was Astro 54, Kyle Tucker, King Tuck. 1 swing, 4 runs, whole night, flipped. I'm Kevin. This is Sports Lab 100. Stay kind and keep moving.